Let us see the next question. New Projects Limited is evaluating three projects P1, P2, P3. Following information is available in respect of these projects. So the information is available to us with respect to the investment, with respect to the cash inflow for the first year, second year, third year and fourth year. Yearly cash flow information is given to us. Risk index is given 1.8, 1 and zero point 0.6. Minimum required rate of return of the firm is 15%. Income tax rate is only 40%. Risk-free interest rate is 10%. There are two questions. Find out risk-adjusted discounting rate for these projects. That is for 1, 2 and 3 we are required to calculate. And the second is which project is the best? That is a question. I request all of you to go through the question, please. Let us have understanding, friends, of the question. Friends, over here, there are two simple things that we are required to do. In the first part of the question, we are required to make the computation of the cost of capital using the information, something like called risk index. And in the second part of the question, we are required to answer that say which project is best. That we can answer very easily by making calculation of the simple NPV of the each project. Now calculation of the NPV is of course not difficult for us. Discounting the cash flow series with the discounting rate that say we have computed in the first part of the question. In the first part of the question, how to make the calculation of the risk adjusted discounting rate is something that say we are going to have a discussion now. Friends, over here the discounting rate is required to be found very easily. It is like the risk-free rate of return, that is 10%, plus like the minimum required rate of return which they have provided to us as 15%, minus RF into risk factor. That is the simple way by which we are required to make the calculation of the cost of capital. Friends, as far as this risk factor is concerned, that is required to be decided subjectively by the company, and accordingly we are required to find the required rate of return. See what happens that say we can say that say if at all you are doing some business which is traditionally done by number of other businesses, that is you want to enter into the that is automobile sector, then we can say that say yes, automobile sector keeps on changing, but that sector is not absolutely new. However, if at all you are going to say introduce some new kind of concept, then in that case it will have more risk. So accordingly you want more return. How much more return or how much is the risk? So that you may decide on subjective basis. That is the way they have provided to us some kind of risk factor. So what you have to do, friends, simply it is like a kind of formula Rm minus Rf into beta plus Rf. That is the way you determine the discounting rate. That is the way you determine the discounting rate. This is what you are required to do. And using this discounting factor, we'll make the calculation of NPV for first project, NPV for second project, and NPV for third project. The project which is having highest positive NPV is considered to be the best. So project P3 has highest NPV, so it should be accepted by the firm. That is the way we have to take the decision. So basically, friends, over here regarding the risk adjusted discounting rate, I can say that risk index is required to be decided on the subjective basis which the management will decide. We can correlate something like beta, and so the minimum required rate of return is a kind of, we can say that say this is equal to the return on the market portfolio, and that is useful to calculate the cost of capital. So just I am dictating a note to you. So write down answer. First point In this question, we are required to calculate required rate of return using risk index. Full stop. It is similar to beta and it is decided by management subjectively. Second point, minimum required rate of return equals to return on market portfolio for finding risk adjusted discounting rate. Risk adjusted discounting rate. Full stop. With paragraph write down, we understand that with increase in risk element, comma, required rate of return increases. Full stop. This is what we understand.